what's this open space here? Open space.
Central column?
Fourth ventricle? It's down here. Fourth ventricle, yes.
Yeah.
Fourth ventricle. And right here?
Mesencephalic occiput.
Okay. So what brain region is this?
Midbrain.
Midbrain. And regionally, what's this part of the midbrain? And the name comes from a quadruped. So if you're looking at it like this.
Yeah, pidan. Colliculus fourth.
That's okay, so that's the name of the bodies, the bumps. But the region, this region that contains those bumps. So we break up the midbrain into this region and this region. The roof, this is the roof, and this is the rest of it. So the word means roof.
Tentum.
Tectum.
Tectum.
Tectum. And then the rest of it?
Tegmentum.
Tegmentum, right. And then the tectum contains 4 bodies, collectively called?
Cora gemina.
And then the 2 on top?
Superior
Colliculi.
What are they involved in?
Visual reflexes.
And the bottom?
Inferior
Inferior
colliculi.
And their function?
Auditory reflex.
Startle reflex, yeah. The white?
Arbor vitae.
Okay. And the ridges?
Folia.
Folia. This area. And this?
Pituitary gland.
And the connecting piece?
Infundibulum.
Yeah. And this here?
Is that the intermediate mass?
Or interthalamic adhesion. And this right here?
Pineal gland.
That's right here.
Is that the posterior commissure?
It is.
Posterior commissure.
And here?
Anterior commissure.
Right. And here?
Corpus callosum.
Right, so there's our 3 commissural structures. Right? Posterior, anterior, corpus callosum. The blue? Dark blue.
Fornix.
This thin membrane?
Septum pellucidum.
Septum pellucidum.
This little connection between this ventricle and the ventricles up here.
Interventricular foramen.
Right, so this is a hole, interventricular foramen. So 3rd ventricle's here. And what is this area here that this is part of?
Thalamus.
And here?
Hypothalamus.
Right. And back here, which pituitary is part of?
Epithalamus.
Right.
Pineal and pituitary both are part of epithalamus?
No, just pineal.
Pineal, that's so. Pituitary is of hypothalamus. Part of
that. Kind of, yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's like what, below that.
Connected to it.
Yeah.
Calcarine sulcus, I don't think is on your list. But how about this one here?
Occipital, parietal occipital fissure. No,
Sulcus.
fissure.
Sulcus.
Sulcus.
So what lobe is back here?
Occipital.
And then what lobe is here?
Parietal.
Okay. This is part of the meninges. It's the middle layer.
Arachnoid.
It is. And then the blue, that's another layer.
Subarachnoid space.
It's coming over from 2 sides, fusing together.
It's
The subpituitary.
no. Subarachnoid space should be.
Not a space, a structure.
Trabecular.
So you have 2 meningeal layers of dura fusing together,
Zero.
and then they form a structure. So
Is it the
it's dura,
Villi.
but the structure is called
falx cerebri?
falx cerebri. Exactly.
Is that the superior sagittal sinus?
Right, that's what it's including.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't see what you were pointing at.
Superior sagittal. Yeah. And this lobe here.
Frontal?
Right here.
Thalamus.
It should be thalamus, yeah. In here.
Diencephalon.
No, but it's a structure that consists of projection fibers running up between the basal nucleus and the diencephalon.
Can you show, yeah, what exactly?
Internal
And
Capsule?
capsule.
Internal
Mhm.
capsule.
This is actually internal capsule.
It goes in that way,
it,
though?
it's like this.
Mhm.
like
Let me
this.
show you another view of it. Let's take this one. So if we take the lentiform off, then you can see all of the internal capsule, which is what this represents here. And then right on the other side of it, right there, is the thalamus. Okay, so that's thalamus there, that's thalamus there. So that should be what they're pointing to. I just can't really make out the number. So I know 5 is internal capsule, so that's clearly 5.
That's 4, 3. 1, 3, 4.
So 3 is this. Maybe 4. So they're not going quite that deep. So we're actually cutting through this. We're not quite past it. We're not into here. So then what would this be? That makes sense.
The nuclei? Oh.
This. Where is this?
Lentiform?
Right, lentiform nucleus.
That
That makes sense, because this is mid-sagittal, and this is pretty far away from midline. So yeah, we're past the thalamus. We're getting into the lentiform.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Kind of looked like caudate.
That makes sense.
That
Oh.
stuff there.
Right here. What's this?
Yeah,
Caudate. And what's this part of it?
the head.
Because depending on how you cut, you might get 2 parts in
yeah,
one
head
cut.
and the tail.
And the tail, exactly. And the internal capsule does go between the lentiform, right, and the caudate.
Mm.
That makes sense. And this little open space here.
Lateral ventricles.
What part?
Anterior.
Yeah,
Posterior?
Posterior, yeah.
horn.
Right, And here,
Anterior horn.
and down in here.
Inferior.
Mm-hmm. How about the red blood vessels?
Is that the choroid plexus?
Choroid plexus. Mm-hmm. Just more of the corpus callosum here. See it from both sides. Oh, how about this little bump on the side of the medulla?
This side.
Is that that
Here
one?
it's pink.
Oh, is it the olive?
Olive?
Mm-hmm.
Olive.
Yep, same thing.
Is that formed from
So
the
this-
olivary
Olivary
nucleus?
This actually goes this
Is that
way.
a
Olivary
separate
nucleus
structure?
or
Mm-hmm.
olive?
Yeah, so if you
Olive is
cut
the
through the
shape
olive and
of
look
it.
at the inside, it's nucleus in there, olivary.
okay.
Mhm. Same view. Right, and then what's
It
all
makes the
this
shape
stuff
of
here?
An olive, so it's called olive because there's a nucleus inside.
What's all this white matter here?
Peduncles.
Right, so then you're just getting a different view right here. That's it, that's all of them.
Lanceolars.
All of them.
Cerebellar,
Superior,
peduncles.
middle, inferior, cerebellar peduncles.
Superior,
Right, it's
inferior.
all that white matter that's
So that
headed
would
back.
be one whole question, and you could say,
Cerebellar peduncle is fine, yeah. Because to actually separate them,
Знімай тебя.
we need a sectional view.
Я ж пытаюсь, я ж видно.
Давай, давай.
Oh, how about this right here? This little column.
Cerebral peduncle?
Correct, sir.
Correct?
And here it is again.
Ah.
So the little pillars, little columns on either side, the midbrain.
Oh yeah, there was a question like that on the map, which was very stupid because they completely graded out. They're like, what's here? What's missing?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
What is a crux cerebri referring to? Is that a specific area or structure on the cerebral peduncles?
Yes, that is. Where did you see that? That sounds.
It's like, I think it's on the slides
Okay.
with the images from the book. I think they referred to crux cerebri a couple times.
I wonder, yeah, if that's part of it. Maybe up in here. Not on our list, so don't worry about it. But I'll have to look at that one. I think we covered most of this. Oh, how about this sinus here?
Transverse.
Mm-hmm. You see the meningeal layers come together, fuse, and form this structure here.
Tentorium cerebelli.
Tentorium cerebelli is right. There it is again. I don't see a falx cerebri. I mean, falx cerebellum. Just the falx cerebri.
Will need to be a different cut.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I've got hippocampus. So that blue is hippocampus. And the red? Right in here? Choroid plexus of the... Right, whereas this is choroid plexus of lateral ventricle. Exactly.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay, what's this?
Insel.
Insula. And then these fibers.
Corona radiata.
Internal capsule.
Internal
Mhm.
capsule.
And this? Just this side.
Mm-mm. Putamen.
And the other side, the darker red?
Racil.
Caudate.
No.
No. Globus pallidus.
Yeah.
Right. And the two of them together?
Lentiform
Lentiform.
nucleus.
Mm-hmm. And then on this side, the red?
Caudate nucleus.
Okay.
Caudate.
Your head and your tail. And then what would this be? Which is continued here.
Thalamus.
Yeah. Mhm.
Thalamus.
Right. And then this picture going right up this side. So right about here is where it starts to spread out and form the internal capsule. But before that, it's just a pretty tightly packed column of fibers called...
Internal capsule.
No, before that.
Oh, before that.
Internal's right here. And then way up here is corona radiata. And then way down here, they're really close together before they fan out.
Peduncles.
Right. Cerebral peduncles.
So it's the same tissue.
Yeah, projection fibers running all the way up and down,
Mhm.
forming different structures along the way. Bumps right underneath there. Mammillary bodies.
Nice to meet you.
Cranial nerves.
Are those
I guess we could.
olfactory?
I guess we could start with these, right?
Yeah, those are also.
So
Подними там.
let's do name and number. 2, 2.
Oh, for the optic.
Cranial nerve 2. Cranial nerve 1 is, and all you really have is olfactory nerve filament. We don't really have, in other words, a clear cord-like structure that we can call olfactory nerve. People often point, like they did in the dissection video, they point to the olfactory folds as representatives of cranial nerve 1, 2, and then cranial nerve. Working our way down, right? So superior to inferior, for rostral to caudal, it's 1 through 12. So this is 2, this is 3, right? And then 4, you can see from the front a little bit from the side, but it's really coming around from the back. Wraps around. And that would be 4. So big ones from the side. Yeah. It's not the longest, but it's the thickest. It's the largest. Maybe. I never really looked at it as which one's the smallest, but it's pretty tight. Which one's the longest? The one that's called the wanderer. The only one that goes past the neck. The only one that goes into the middle. 3, 4, 5. Track. 6. 7. Facial. 8. Vestibular process. Last one, 2. Okay. There you go. This one. That's 311. And you gotta come back up immediately for 1. The cranial nerve? Yeah. Oh yeah, any of these models. That one shows cranial nerve, the range shows cranial nerve.
As far as function goes, you'd be limited to just knowing the functions of the cranial nerves mainly.
And which you don't need to know for the lab, you will for the next lecture exam, the final. You'll need to know, oh wait, that was the one functional thing
Right.
you need to know on the test here. And these aren't necessarily new things you haven't named yet. We did name it on the other side. It's just, it looks a little different from this side, so I want to go back through it all.
Is that corona radiata?
Not yet.
Do the head.
Right before that.
The internal capsule?
Right, right.
Internal capsule.
All the way, yeah. And then this,
Is that a butamen?
right?
Putamen.
Or if you consider this and what's on the other side, the whole thing,
Lentiform?
right? And then this,
Caudate nucleus.
right? So then if you have the caudate and the putamen and the connections between them, that's all called
Corpus striatum.
corpus striatum, the whole thing.
A lot of, I guess, things that I looked up online when you put those two. Actually, what was it? Corpus striatum for all 3 nuclei?
I've seen that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that's wrong.
It gets confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Because otherwise, corpus striatum and basal nucleus are the exact same thing,
Huh.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually the way I used to look at it. That's how I interpret it from our textbook. But I looked around, and it is specific to the putamen. not the globus pallidus. And you can even see those little connections.
Mm-hmm.
It was really seeing this model that helped me, for myself, kind of clarify it. So this really isn't part of that relationship. It's really just this red part, right? And then the connections, and then this part. This isn't really part of it, that dark. So
Where are the connections made of? Is it just fibers?
I'm assuming mostly unmyelinated axons.
Mm.
Yeah, because it is dark, it's gray. And then what's this dark red by itself?
Globus pallidus.
Globus pallidus. This model's cool because you can see the fourth ventricle and how it fits into the brain. So you got the pons, the medulla in front, and then the cerebellum behind. What are these little things sticking out there?
Apertures.
Which one?
Lateral.
And then this thing. And this thing. Phallic aqueduct. And what goes through here?
My favorite Foramen.
Нет,
Foramen.
они-
Gotcha.
No.
No!
Not a foramen.
Super.
It looks like a hole, right? But this is open space I'm holding. So this is actually tissue.
Intra.
No.
Intermediate mass
Yeah.
or interthalamic adhesion.
Adhesion.
Yeah. So what tissue surrounds the front right here? Close. So thalamus would be about here. So what's surrounding that?
Hypothalamus?
Right. And then these little connecting pieces here, what are these? They're not really connected.
Interventricular foramen.
Holes?
Interventricular foramen,
Foramen.
right?
It's my favorite.
It's totally backwards when you look at this. Because you forget this is not solid.
Yeah.
We got the rest of it.
Jelly.
What gray matter structure is right under here and has the same C shape? Which part?
Caudate.
Mm-hmm. So if you can find the caudate, you've got the lateral ventricle, or vice versa. They are together. And what's that dark spot right there?
Intermediate mass.
Mm-hmm. And this is part of the olfactory pathway, the green line. It's mammillary bodies process olfactory information.
Okay, mammillary body always green on models.
On this model, I don't know about the others. Like here it's just white.
Ah.
So it looks like just this one. All right, I'll put this back together.
Aww. It would be nice to color code
You guys want
everything.
to look at this one for a sec? Work on my puzzle. It's very similar to this one.
Yeah.
1 minute.
No, 20 seconds.
Can we see the cingulate gyrus on any of the models? Because we said that green thing below the
Kind of right in
Его
here.
штаны снимаешь. Ой, штаны необычно.
Septum pellucidum would be
Нет,
below. Cingulate gyrus would be above
Не
corpus
обязательно
callosum.
сфотографировать.
So like right here.
Okay.
Gyrus.
But the best one is the brain model. We'll go over that one next.
Mm-hmm.
How about identify all the cranial nerves on there? That's a good one.
Go.
Tiny dots, which are probably representing individual villi, but it's fine either way. Confluence of sinuses is right here, where they all come together. So the straight sinus, the transverse, the superior
Jugular vein?
sagittal. Jugular comes off right down here. So after the sigmoid sinus, it empties into jugular. But no, jugular's not on this model.
Okay, it comes from both sides or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And then these pieces here, the flat ones.
Tentorium cerebellum.
Mm-hmm. And this little piece here.
Falx cerebelli.
And all of that.
Falx cerebri.
Cerebri.
And what type of meninge forms this thing? This whole thing?
Dura mater.
Meningeal layer of dura.
Oh, well.
Meningeal.
Yeah, but it's all dura mater. It's all meningeal dura. Gyrus? This is for Ryan.
Oh, singular gyrus.
What?
Cingulate.
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 First time.
Nice to meet you.
Walnut.
Yes. I would have to assume. See, the central sulcus should go all the way over.
But not now.
On this one, it doesn't really look like it. The one that looks like the right spot, which is kind of right in here, would be. So this one dead ends.
Maybe don't use this model
This one
to
goes.
identify
This
it.
one goes all the way up. It just doesn't go over. But if I put a sticker and asked you to name a sulcus, and the sticker was anywhere in this vicinity, there can only be one,
Only central.
right? There can't be anything else. But on this model, that looks like that's probably it right there.
Central sulcus.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's any better on this side.
The same.
Mm-hmm.
Not any better.
Is there a key?
Yeah, but I don't know that they identify central sulcus per se. And then all the white.
Corpus callosum.
And this.
Thomas?
Thin membrane between the ventricles.
Septum.
Oh, septum pellucidum.
And this white. Mm-hmm. And right here.
The anterior commissural.
Mm-hmm.
Tear.
And this whole region here.
Hypothalamus.
Okay. And this thing.
Pituitary gland.
And then this region.
Medulla.
Medulla.
And
Pons. Midbrain.
and this part of the midbrain region. Roof. Tectum.
Tegmentum.
Tegmentum.
So which part is tectum exactly? Just like that separate.
That's
thing.
a, that's a region, right?
Region. Everything on this side of
Central.
the central canal. Or
Okay.
the mesencephalic aqueduct.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
This one here. Sulcus.
Parieto-occipital.
Mm-hmm. So if this is central sulcus, what gyrus is this?
Post central gyrus.
And
Precentral.
mm-hmm. And then what's this structure here?
Fox.
Central canal.
Uh-huh.
Olfactory what?
Not very bulbous in a human, but they're the olfactory bulbs. Much larger in the sheep. And what cranial nerve filaments synapse here? Olfactory. Cranial nerve 1. And then the structure here in cross section.
Inferior.
Optic chiasm, right? So then the optic nerve comes in right here. And then how about this nerve? Teeny tiny right here. Kind of pushing it up a little bit. Tiny. Maybe this smallest. Maybe. See, it's coming around from the other side. Right. Mm-hmm. So then what's this one right here?
Pineal. No.
No, it's a nerve.
So I'll show you the same one on a different model. Do you have to bring them or did I take it? All right, so we did trochlear, and then I was pointing to this one here.
Is that cranial nerve 3?
Right.
Oculomotor?
Right.
Mm.
Right. So one's coming into here, two's coming in right there, 3 is right here, 4 is over here, and then what's this one?
Trigeminal.
Mm-hmm. And then in the front here,
Abducens.
Okay, and then next to it,
Facial.
and next to that.
Vestibulocochlear.
All right, and then we keep going down laterally. So what's this one?
Glossopharyngeal.
Mm-hmm. And then this one.
Vagus.
Okay, and then all of this down here.
Accessory.
Right. And then, so you go 9, 10, 11, and then you come back up to the other side of the olive for 12, which is
Hypoglossal.
hypoglossal. So 9, 10, 11, 12 surround the olive. And really 6, 7, 8 are right above the olive. So 6 through 12 around the olive. Yeah. And the pink. Mm-hmm.
Hyper what?
Pineal.
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 No, just pineal.
And the white here. Mm-hmm. And that little gold dot, brown dot,
Intermediate mass.
making all of this the
Thalamus.
thalamus. What are the 3 lobes of the cerebellum called?
Cerebral cortex.
No.
Lobes of the. Oh, the cerebellum.
The weird named one, and then frontal and posterior.
So there's flocculonodular,
Flocculonodular.
and then the other 2 are very easy.
Anterior, posterior.
And they're separated by the
Primary fissure.
one and only primary fissure. And then what's the worm-like structure that runs down the middle?
Vermis.
Vermis means worm. And then what would these things be here?
Follicula, dilacula.
Nope. Close.
Was it
That's just under your
flocculonodular?
throat.
I'm trying. You not.
That's right. For effort.
Are those the Purkinje cells?
No. That's going to be in the gray matter. This is white matter. Yeah. Those are cerebellar peduncles.
Cerebellum.
Mm-hmm. Sitting in there like so.
Ground turkey.
All of them. Is it the middle one?
To actually name them, that's a tough view.
So we wouldn't have to name it. You would just ask what that was.
Just cerebellar peduncles from that view there.
Okay.
Yeah. Where did we have? Now here, well, I guess we could. Yeah, it's pretty close.
We don't have to do that.
Well, this big round area. Almost all of that is the middle, and then just a little bit down here is inferior, and then superior runs up a little bit here. So, middle's the easiest one to identify. If I put a sticker right in the middle of this big round area, middle cerebellar peduncle. And so what's this open space back here? Right. Mm-hmm. Fourth ventricle. Fourth ventricle. And these kind of like columns in the front.
Pyramids.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, really, everything else we've named. How about the blood vessels? Choroid plexuses.
Where is it?
Choroid plexus.
So here's choroid plexus of the lateral ventricle, and here's choroid plexus of the third ventricle.
Those are the only 2, right?
Fourth ventricle has one too. I don't think they're showing it in the model. But each ventricle has its own plexus. And then what's this gray matter?
Internal capsule.
No, that's the white here.
Oh, okay.
Right, there's your
Thalamus.
insula, internal capsule, caudate nucleus. That's caudate, yeah.
Are you going to be asking functions along with, like, are you going to ask what is the structure, what is the function?
Just cranial nerve. I'm going to pull up that test prep email real quick. Questions limited to cranial nerves and spinal nerve plexuses. For cranial nerves, identify them by name and number. Be able to describe their sensory and or motor innervations and functions. For the nerve plexuses, be able to describe their innervations, functions, and indicate which spinal nerve pairs join to form each plexus. For example, spinal nerve C1 through C5 form the cervical plexus. So that's stuff that we're going to cover this week. You haven't seen that yet. So cranial nerve 1, as an example. What's the name? What does it innervate? What's the function?
Olfactory nerve innervates your nose, or sense of smell stuff, right?
So the smell receptors are in the olfactory epithelium in the nasal cavity.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, innervates the nose. Yeah. I mean, roof of the nasal cavity is where it goes.
Okay.
So that works. So is it sensory, motor, or mixed? Sensory. Right. Cranial nerve 2.
Optic.
Sensory, motor, or mixed?
Sensory.
What does it innervate?
Does
Nice
it also work